Dear diarrhea. Diarrhea full of shit. Just fly along with myself and I know else, so I'm so legit. Don't have anything to say, so I figured I'd say some shit. Oh, I could say some shit about technology failing and just the fucking faggot shit and tech people and all that, but I'll just keep it short and sweet. Just keep it to the stupid shit, the silly shit, the fake shit. Videos are shorter that way. If I start talking about, nobody wants to hear that bullshit. Well, not a whole lot going on the grams or YouTube or like or Facebook or anything like that. My muscles are sore. Today's day 2. When this motherfucker grabs the gear, this should be so easy. There's not any motivation on that. But, if you don't think about it, you just do it, It's like, I'm going to keep going, That's how that shit works. So, don't think about it, just do it. And then just keep going. It's like, so tomorrow my goal is to get my muscles sore, and then it's a Monday, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, just whatever. It's like I said, I have my system of everything. It's kind of a lot, the holistic approach, but I've got it all in my noggin. Talking about, my resets, my fasting and weekly fast, monthly fast, twice a year water fast. Might do like a twice a year, so that's like a week, 7 days. I might do like a once a year, like where I go on the carnivore diet just for a month though, because I'm an omnivore. And I don't necessarily buy that shit, hey, whatever. Just anything that's extreme like that, be wary of it. Humans are not carnivores, we're omnivores. We ate a lot of meat back in the day, but by the way, I stumbled across a video. It popped up as a suggestion. Who would win in a fight, Neanderthal man or like a modern, human, Homo sapiens or whatever we are? And it was the guy talking was in the voice of David Attenborough or whatever, but it's not him, I don't think. So does he get royalties for that or something? Fucking AI, man. I think it was only like a 10-minute video or so. It didn't really talk about the specifics. It basically just talked about the specifications, tales of the tape or whatever, about Neanderthal man. I guess he stood about, 5, 8, 9, 10, kind of like a modern man. But his bones are like 3 times as thick and he was like 3 times as strong. So, thicker skull and all that shit. So I think it didn't really talk about, like I said, the contest, the fight, but I think if you time traveled the Neanderthal man, and he didn't speak the language or anything, you just put him in the octagon, or even like a real like fight, because the octagon, there's still like Gentleman Jim and hesitation, they're not, punching him in the throat and, nut shots and, there's still, like sportsmanship, right? Versus if it was like, combat on a battlefield or a street fight, in an alley. But so in the octagon, we'll go through this. The modern human would have him like in the skill and whatnot. He'd get some kicks and some punches, and the Neanderthal man would kind of be like, it might sting a little bit. But he would eventually work out, what he's facing. He's facing a smaller dude, somewhat different looking dude. Maybe he's same height, but just different stature or build. I think eventually he would figure it out, and he would like chase him And he eventually he would like run, because what's his name knows, this dude, he's strong and all that. And he's just a bigger, different build, so it's not like you're wearing down, a modern human, plus you got your knockout buttons and your spots, choke people out, hit them in the face and the skull and whatnot. And the way, the brain works when it touches the inside of the noggin there, and just all that shit, and the nerves, and the chin, zoom, sends it up, and all that shit. And arm bars and all that stuff, and joint locks, and just all the hootin', falutin', rootin', tootin', technical fighting. Neanderthal man, you're not really gonna, you try and get him in an arm bar, he's just gonna like, just strong arm you, you know what I mean? You might be able to do it based on your weight and whatnot, because I guess the weight, that was the same thing. So if you want to, grab him and, flip over with him, you know what I mean? Which is all shit that they would not do in the octagon. That's totally illegal. But if it was like a street fight or whatever, in which case, like I said, the game kind of changes. You're going to go for efficiency, throat shots and all that shit. But if you want to get theatrical and kind of get animalistic and shit, and, twist off body parts and, literally break joints and bones, and so they're useless. They're like not connected, anymore, right? You just, it's like that arm is useless now. You just fucking destroyed it, the joint. But, with your body weight there. But, so you might get him, and like I said, he's like, this is all new to him. He's used to hunting down saber-tooth tigers and mastodons and giant boars and stuff, which I guess they actually hunted with like spears. They didn't like throw it. They actually like surrounded it and stabbed it to death. So a lot of guys got hit, and injured and whatnot. But I think eventually, his instincts would kick in, because he's saber-tooth, woolly mammoth or whatever. So he's used to, his defense, and protecting his body and whatnot. He's going to have enough of that. Although the MMA fighter's going to be, all quick and stuff. But I think eventually he would work it out. And like I said, he's not expecting, a throat shot or a nut shot. But if it was MMA, well, this is stupid. Basically, he would get a hold of him and he would literally crush either his skull or his chest or whatever. They probably got in squabbles with each other, so they were probably aware of the concept of a closed fist hit, and grappling and wrestling and shit like that. So if he punched him in the face, the Neanderthal, I think it would probably literally crack his skull and like crush it. Not like all the way, but, so like his eyeball might be hanging out, his orbital bone, like his actual skull would physically be like caved in. Okay, it would be a very gruesome, like, oh my God, sight. The same thing if you hit him in the rib cage, I mean, you've got your muscles and whatnot, but it would basically rupture your internal organs. It would just totally break the rib cage. It wouldn't like break through it. There'd still be, like I said, the muscles and shit, but it would be like punching clay. You know what I mean? The ribs just, all of them just broken. So his fist, boom, would just fuck up his internal organs. So it would only take, 2 to 3 shots for a Neanderthal man to actually, with his fists, before, modern Homo sapien was dead on a doormat. He'd be this like deformed, somewhat crushed, it would be like a really intense sight, you know what I mean? Especially the skull, just, like he just got hit by a gorilla or something, Street fight? I don't know, because like I said, Neanderthal man isn't going to be expecting, a bipedal with hands and a thumb. They're going to, nut shots, ripping off body parts, throat shots. Like I said, the twisting and whatnot. If he grabs a hold of them, he can just, you know, like I said, do the equivalent of an alligator roll, and all right, well, you don't have that arm anymore because I just destroyed it at the elbow. Because, you grabbed a hold of me and, it's like shit. But, like really hardcore, I mean, you're a bipedal dude, you got your weight, you got your center of gravity, you got hands with a thumb, I mean, humans have the capacity to be super duper violent. They're very effective. Humans are kind of like weak and shit. Like you leave us outdoors in the cold, it's like we just die, and stuff like that. And like when we go to like us versus a bear or anything, it's like they're just so much faster and stronger. But humans can be pretty damn capable, and like I said, think outside the box, especially if you're just going up against another human. Oh, dude. Like I said, this is not a fight now. Like even if it's just like, what I'm saying, dog. Like I said, just think outside the box. You're a biological machine. Now I'm not talking like ninja kicks and shit like that, but just use your weight, use your body. Sometimes you got to be stiff, sometimes you got to be loose. Dead weight. All of a sudden, the person weighs like twice as much as, you know what I mean? It's just the dynamics of offense and defense. The defense is good, but defense is not causing damage to your opponent. So the best offense is the best defense is a strong offense, right? Fast, quick, and in a hurry. Neutralize the motherfucker. Like I said, UFC, there's rules and shit, right? So obviously, UFC fighters, it just depends. What I'm saying? Okay, that's all I'm saying. Basically, is humans have the capacity to be really, really violent and can cause a lot of damage really quick. You know what I mean? Just like by themselves. No, amplifiers, no weapons or anything like that, which is a whole other animal. So in that case, Neanderthal man, just because of his, now obviously because of the his brains, What was the other scenario I came up with? I don't remember, but yeah, Neanderthal was a badass fucking humans, because there's been several different versions, right? There was like Neanderthal man, there was Homo erectus. Who the fuck was he? I think we're Homo sapiens. Is that what we are now? I don't know, man. But anyway, so like I said, it's kind of like, I mean, the brain is the most, smarts really, really helps. You know what I mean? I mean, if you taught that Neanderthal shit, basic, defense and offense, no chance. Like I said, that's because he would just be there like, what's going on, and he, like I said, I think ultimately, the brain over brawn of the modern fighter, because he would, he'd, anyway. Hey, Kosinabu. I was just talking about titties. You want to put your friend on blast? Those ain't tits. Your friend ain't shit. She can't hold a fucking candle to fucko. And Bob's, those are tits. So, she's all grabbing them and shit. Is that why you posted that? I've never seen her before. So, for my other hoes who think I'm just talking shit and I'm crazy and whatnot. So, you crazy man. who think I don't. Even if you did have it, fucking moron, you ain't just such a fucking. I'm not that guy, so I'm not that guy. So what? What happens next? Exactly. Cosinabu, I think we should just break up. I know it's a it's a sudden thing, and it's a family and our fictional scenario of our daughter and just whatever. Well, what do things look like 2 months from now? That's what I thought too. It's like I used to say with fucko. You know what I mean? It's like, what's your end game, you fucking moron? Oh wow, we have similar end games. Nothing. How are things over there in Jersey? So, and I do that on purpose because she's in love with me. She's my property. I own her whether I want her or not. So I'm just being, I'm not saying I couldn't fall in love with her, So I used to kind of treat her with kid gloves, Gave her the benefit of the doubt. First I was like, is she even still out there? And then I determined, yeah, I think she is. And I was like, okay, why don't you, go away. I'm giving you an opportunity here. I'm being nice. But now, no, fuck it. And I'm not lying. You make me fucking horny. Okay? I got all them fucking closets and shit. And they're like you. You know what I mean? You got, So, but, yeah, not my problem. And don't tell anybody I'm pathetic and I hump my pillow and shit. Ah, boo. Gosh. The rules get applied to me, but they don't apply to me. I'm different. And it just doesn't matter. The rest of the world is like, I have zero clout. Fine. You're still a fucking loser, even though you say you don't care, and you're a pillow humper and that. All right, well, my answer to that is still, boo. Don't bother me. But, anyway. So. Guess that's all I'm going to say, baby. I forgot 2 people on Instagram when it was, fucked itself and all that. But I can't find them no more. So, unless I somehow got it wrong or something. Oh well, sometimes people fall by the wayside. So if you want to stick around, and watch my transformation and my push-ups and like Wacky Zacky. I remember I had that, I was going to curl, like 100 pounds, 20 times, proper form, and all that. That's all fine and good, you know what I mean? But, what the fuck? It's been real.